Planning and Zoning Commission, Monday, June 5th, 2026. Roll call, please.
Fellebaum. Murray.
Here.
Shawley.
Here.
Sisler.
Here.
Wright.
Here.
Chair McMahon. Quorum present.
So Chairman McMahon cannot attend tonight's meeting, and we haven't elected a vice chair yet, so we need to do a motion to appoint a chair for, interim chair for tonight's meeting. So I'd open for a motion from one of the members for appointment of a chair tonight.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion to appoint Jerry Wright as chair for tonight.
Okay, second?
Second.
The first and second, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Okay, Mr. Wright.
Thank you. I'd like to start by having an approval of the agenda. If you would take a look at the agenda and ask for any deletions or additions. If none, take a motion.
Motion to approve.
It's been moved by Brian. Need a
Second.
second. Second by Scott. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Moving to the approval of the minutes dated May 18th. Ask that you take a look at those, and if there are any additions or deletions or corrections to the minutes. If not, I ask for a motion to approve those.
Motion to approve.
It's been moved by Kathy.
I'll second it.
Murray. Catherine Murray.
I will second it.
Second by Brian. Look, I know all first names. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion passes. This is the public participation portion of the meeting. We'd like to open it up to anybody that has any thing that is not listed on the agenda. If you have any, all right. All right. We have a public hearing today, a petition by Hillcrest Covenant Church for a special use permit to allow for an extension to the existing church and parking lot for the property located at 1515 North First Street. Do we have presentation?
Good evening. My name is Tim Suter. I currently serve as chairperson of Hillcrest, and I'm also a lifelong DeKalb resident. Here with me tonight are a number of members of Hillcrest staff and leadership team and congregation, as well as Chris Laureate from Rice Point Architects and Dave Jafellers, who's our general contractor on this project. So on behalf of Hillcrest, we wanted to open by saying thank you for considering our application tonight. Hillcrest has actually served the DeKalb community for almost 150 years, and we've been in our current location since 1969. Over the past 5 years, we've experienced remarkable growth. Our average attendance has more than doubled, and our kids and children's ministries have grown dramatically, and it's that growth that has created the need for the project that we bring before you tonight. I think one of the main things that I would like you all to hear tonight is that Hillcrest is a neighborhood church. We love our property, we love our building, we love our neighborhood. And as we've developed this proposal, one of our high priorities was to make sure that what we're doing fits in with the neighborhood. And our desire is to make room for our growth while being a good neighbor along the way. Rise Point, our architects, have been very intentional with their design to ensure that the new part of the building blends nicely with the existing structure and is tucked sort of discreetly off the back side of the building. And as you'll see in the materials, from a bird's eye view, the footprint of the building is actually only increasing by about 2,900 square feet. And the height of the new portion of the building is actually lower than some of the existing structure. So some of the priorities that we're addressing are more sanctuary space, more parking space, and more space for youth and kids ministries. It's important to note that the project does not change the nature of the way that we use the facility. It simply allows us to better accommodate the ministries and activities that are already taking place at the church. In addition to serving the needs of the congregation, the proposed renovation and expansion will allow Hillcrest to continue to grow our community impact through the partnerships that we have with local nonprofit organizations, local schools, and also partnerships we have with missionaries around the world. The project also addresses multiple issues related to the age of our building. This includes life safety items like an upgraded fire alarm system and the addition of a fire suppression system. And in terms of neighborhood impact, the project allows us to improve some existing conditions. Things like water management will improve through properly designed drainage and detention. The larger parking lot will reduce the need for on-street parking that happens regularly now on Sunday mornings. And we've also included in the design thoughtful ways to minimize the impact to our neighbors, the way we'll manage lighting, the addition of some fencing and landscaping, shielding of things like HVAC units, and the garbage dumpster. And also, lines of communication will remain open with our neighbors throughout the project. And so again, we just want to thank you on behalf of everyone that's here from Hillcrest tonight. We want to thank you for your consideration. I'll be happy to try to answer any general questions, and we also have Chris and Dave who are here to answer any questions on the technical side of things. Thank you.
Thank you. We have a presentation from the city.
Yes. As you can see, the aerial photo here of the church location, and Tim went through the proposed expansion. So the site zone single-family residential, actually, and a church is a special use there. Now, when the church was built in the late 60s, it was a permitted use in that district, so which was allowed to continue, of course, but with any addition, the parking into the building that requires a special use, which they've complied with. So they discussed the capacity of the church as needed, increased capacity. According to the background materials, a sanctuary would be up to 350 people, so they need additional room for that, additional classrooms, gathering spaces, restrooms on both levels. Several plans in there. You can see this is probably one of the better ones, shows the actual footprint addition in green here. So they're building over part of the existing church for the sanctuary, but the actual footprint expansion is shown in green there. The parking situation, which was mentioned, they're adding some parking. You can look at the aerial here, a lot of parking behind the church and some up front. They're expanding a little bit more in the front to get easier access to the front of the church for the members coming in. And you see the parking, new parking layout here. A little better design, a layout for the people still parking behind. They're going to have a stormwater detention basin in the southwest part of the site to retain the water from the additional parking in the existing site. They'll have catch basins throughout, so the stormwater drainage will improve. The home right here at 108 Ridge, probably the one most impacted, there's going to be parking next to it, but they are proposing a privacy fence, 6 foot high, right along the property line and a little bit to the south too, and with landscaping in there to screen the cars, the lights from the cars from the home. And there's a look at some color renderings of the addition, which are part of your background material and floor plan. Again, the commission not approving the floor plan, but kind of more the footprint of the building and the elevations. This is some street view photos. This is looking from Ridge and North First Street and the church. A few trees will be lost with the expansion, about 7 trees with parking lot expansion. 2 trees right between the parking lot and North First Street will be saved, will not be touched. They'll remove about 6 trees for the detention basin. So the site, they'll be compatible with the surrounding area. It's surrounded by single-family residential. They meet all the criteria for a special use permit in terms of impact to the neighborhood. They're meeting the UDO requirements. They have adequate enough parking, they have more parking, some more convenient parking. They're going to have stormwater detention to accommodate that. They're providing screening where it's required in the UDO. And we did receive a couple, so we believe they meet all the criteria for the special use. Public responses, we did receive, there's a few more street view. This is from Ridge looking south to the church. Parking will be in that area. This is on the south end, a little drive going into the church from North First Street. Some of the existing parking areas. That's the current area of the back of the church that will be redone. So we did receive a few, two emails, one from Dennis and Beverly Heaney, 1519 Margaret Lane. Margaret Lane's on the west of the church. There's Margaret Lane, they're on the west side. And then we received an email from 108 Ridge from Dwayne Brown and Jackie Brown. Concerns about screening of the new parking near their home and lighting also. I don't know if they're in attendance tonight or not, but the church met with them, and I did respond back to the email, copies in your background materials, noting that I don't think they saw the revised plan, but there's a plan that shows a 6-foot-high privacy fence here, and the church is discussing options of what type of fence they may want to see, maybe white vinyl. But we just require a screening, a 6-foot privacy fence. There'll be landscaping in there too to kind of buffer the screen the fence too. So that will screen any lights from the vehicles over here. So we're recommending approval. There's a sample motion prepared, approves the plans described, and also has a general condition that pretty much matches the UDO, that the lighting be installed to prevent glare in adjoining properties, particularly 108 Ridge, per the approval of the planning director, and then cut off lenses on the lights so the light shines downward and not horizontally, which is a UDO requirement. So, and I know the church mentioned they met with the resident and regarding what they're going to do to accommodate them. So we're convinced that something will be worked out with the residents. Will they be happy with it? So happy to answer any questions the commission has.
Any questions for Dan?
I don't
Yeah, again, mostly I'm just concerned about the one neighbors with the lighting. So you're gonna have shielded lighting that would kind of aim.
Yeah, it would shine downward, not horizontally into there. And they'll probably not have light standards right in this parking area. Maybe they'll be off a little bit, I think maybe is your plan. Perhaps I'm seeing them shaking their
Would it
heads
be like
from the
low-level
applicant.
lighting type deal, or?
Why, maybe they can explain what lighting they will proposing. Go ahead, come up.
Hello, Chris Laureate, architect with Rise Point. The lighting we would propose would be, it'd be taller, probably a 20-foot pole roughly, but it would be set in from the property line by at least 40 feet, and then it would have the appropriate cutoff to meet your ordinance. So it would send the light downward rather than outward.
So they probably have in this parking area here, not these
Right.
parking,
Not adjacent to the property
not
line.
next to it.
Okay, and that property piece that you just showed there, up in the upper left there, yeah. How many spaces is that? 10 spaces. And the lights would go directly into the Browns' home there.
Yeah, there's
Except
gonna
for
be
the
a,
privacy fencing will block.
right along here, you can see kind of highlighted in purple.
Yeah.
The notes say a 6-foot-high privacy fence
Okay.
with landscaping,
That
so
would block that.
that
out.
would block it. yeah.
Right now.
Okay.
And
Cars
if we
turning
need
west.
to, pardon me, if we need to, we can provide a photometric site plan to illustrate the light condition that would be achieved.
Yeah, and that's
through the
required
design.
with the permit. They have a photometric plan. We have certain range you have to be in, and, but it's for the whole parking area, so they can
Yeah.
cut back on the lighting poles next to that home and just move them further back.
Yeah.
But
My
still
impre-
light, yeah.
Yeah, my impression is they were in favor of it, they just were concerned about.
Yeah.
Light pollution, which I don't blame them, and it sounds like we've kind of met that requirement, take care of it.
Is the public participation?
Yeah, that's the time to
Public
ask for it
hearing.
now, yeah.
Yes, so if
So
there's
you're saying-
anybody in the public that wants to speak to this issue, you can come to the podium, state your name and your address. Are you all Hillcrest Covenant? All right, we're closing the public hearing. Now I'd like to open it up to the commission to ask their questions of, that you've already asked, I'm sure.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, but if you have any other questions that you want to address to the city, or I would like to ask, is there, are you going to be, how are you going to do it while construction is going on, when that happens? You guys,
Dave Jafellers, general contractor for this project. All during the construction, we're gonna have a construction fence around the area for security. And we will keep it up during the whole duration of the construction. We will be on site making sure that the site is safe and secure, so we don't have to worry about people getting in, getting out of it. So that will be kept up and kept in place until we can occupy the building.
does any part of the construction require you to shut down the church? Or
No,
it's gonna
no.
be-
Our
everything's
plan
gonna
is to build the addition without shutting down the church. We will do it in phases in such a way that they'll still be able to have services on Sundays and won't affect their programs.
All right.
And they did mention, I had in the report, plan to start work in August, and it'd be about a one-year build-out, correct? And
Yeah,
they
most
like to get the
likely.
parking done by the end of the year.
Yeah, we
Correct.
need to do the parking lot ASAP, so we want to jump on that right away and try to get a first lift of asphalt on before next fall, before November. So that's kind of our goal. All during that same process, we'll be working on the building, getting the foundation in and starting the progress. We're hoping to build over the winter, and so that next spring it'll be enclosed and almost ready to occupy.
All right. Any other questions from the commission? Okay, well, I'd like to ask if there's a motion on the floor to accept the motion in your program. Somebody want to read that?
So I'm doing most of the talking.
Brian?
Okay. I'd like to make a motion based upon the submitted petition, testimony presented, and findings of fact. I move the Planning and Zoning Commission forward its findings of fact and recommend to the City Council approval of a special use permit to allow an expansion to the existing church and parking lot located at 1515 North First Street per the site plans attached and listed on Exhibit A of the staff report dated June 11th, 2026, subject to the proposed parking lot lighting be installed to prevent glare on adjoining properties, and in particular 108 Ridge Drive, per the approval of the planning director. Cutoff lenses shall be used to direct light away from adjoining properties.
All right. Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved by Brian and seconded by Catherine. Roll call, please.
Murray,
Approve.
Shawley,
Approved.
Sisler,
Abstain.
Wright,
Yes.
motion passes.
Motion passes. Thank you all. Moving to the second item under new business, preliminary final development plan and final plat of subdivision, Part 88, Unit 5, Fairview Drive and Macomb Drive, Park 88, Group LLC. All right. There's nothing against you.
Get up here and everybody leaves. I know. All right. Good evening. My name is Steve Miller. I'm with Venture One, here to talk about the The plan development and final plat suit for Park 88, Unit 5. This is at Fairview and Macomb Drive. This is a new building that's gonna be going up out there. There's 2 parcels here, roughly about 50 acres between the 2. We're proposing to put on one of the acres, which is 22 acres of the site, about 186,000 square foot manufacturing facility. We're under an NDA, so I can't give a lot of information about it, but it is a manufacturing facility. They are looking to be operational next year, Q2, Q3. And that's really about it for this part of it. So any questions, I can certainly field them.
Can't tell us who it is, huh?
I can't, well, I could, but I like my job.
Okay, okay. Dan, you have?
Yes,
City.
I'll just go through it briefly. So we have what we have is a preliminary final development plan and final plat in Park 88. It's 2 lots. One lot is here, if you look on the plat, and one lot's here in red, which will have the manufacturing building on. Kind of see the Park 88, but it's a marketing material, but you can see where this proposed building will be. That's 2 lots are here shown in red. But you can see in the proximity to 3M and Target right there at northeast corner of Macomb and Fairview Drive. So the site plan, again, shows a manufacturing building, this over 186,000 square feet in Lot 2, which is about 21.5 acres. Accommodate a large manufacturer. They do show a future expansion to the east, about 185,000. Parking on the south end for employees, visitors, access to Fairview. Look at the plan, they had a couple access points on Macomb. North one mostly for deliveries and trucks. The southern one would be for that too, and it looks like a connection to the visitor parking area to employee. Detention's provided off-site to the northwest in this pond here, so that's accommodated, all set up and planned out when Park 88 was constructed and planned for. So this is just another lot and continuation of the development. There's plenty of facilities provided out there in terms of water, sewer, stormwater drainage, electric, everything. So that's really set up nice for that type of use at that location. They did provide a rendering of the building and generally what it will look like, meeting all the requirements in Park 88 in their planned development. So staff's reviewed this. There's 140 parking spaces provided. We've taken a look at this on the level of review. They're going to be submitting still final engineering plans. They like to start work pretty soon, start grading. It was mentioned in July, operating by the early middle of 2027.
Yes.
So prior to issuing any permits, they'll have to address all staff comments, detailed engineering plans, landscape lighting plans, and then recording of the final plat too, which is part of the review of the plat. Again, it's in your background materials, but this shows the 2 lots with all the necessary easements on there, continuing the setbacks and easements on the adjacent lots to the east. So we'd recommend approval. The sample motion is there for the commission.
All right, thank you. Is there any, you take any
It's not a public hearing, so there's no
Just a vote.
comments needed.
comments from
Commission's fine.
the
yeah.
commission? Any comments from the commission? You-
I have a question.
Sure, go ahead.
The expansion plot,
Yes.
is that committed, guaranteed, or is that a we might not?
I would say that is a high probability because we are, well, we're already talking about
you
building,
do
this
one but
building,
not
making
the
sure
other?
that it is expandable and what we can do in the
Okay.
future. So it's high probability it will get expanded.
Okay.
And Kristen Bruns with Jacob and Hefner is here too, the engineer, if you have any questions for her too.
Out of curiosity, how many employees?
They're shooting anywhere from 150 to 300, depending on how it goes, with the expansion, everything going through, and that is office and the manufacturing area. And currently they're talking about doing 2 shifts. so.
Any other discussion? So I'll take a motion.
I'll make it. I move that the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval of the preliminary final development plan and final plots of subdivision Park 88, Unit 5, located at the northeast corner of Macomb Drive and Fairview Drive, per the plans and listed in Exhibit A of the staff report and subject to all staff comments being addressed prior to the issuance of a building permit and recording of the final plot.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
Thank you. It's been properly moved and second, moved by Brian, moved by Scott, second by Brian. All those in favor say aye.
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 Oh, no. Roll call. Roll call.
Murray,
Yes.
Sholly,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
that's,
She's calling your name.
I just called you.
Yes.
Sisler,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
motion passes.
All right. Motion passes. Secretary, where's my agenda? All right. Next, we have any reports from the city?
Yeah, next commission meeting is July 6th. Couple hearings. One, I think you got an email link to, it's a text amendment, the home occupation regulations regarding educational program related to a resident who likes, grows, I guess it's homemade goods on the property and would like to offer some classes. A small amount of people. The home occupation, the business regulations in homes is kind of limited to just the home. This will kind of give an exception to that with some language. So that'll be discussed. We'll have a hearing on the 6th on that. Then also a hearing for the DeKalb Transit Facility. The city has been planning a lot to build a transit facility on West Dresser Road out west of the high school on city-owned property. So it requires a special use permit, and we have some plans with that. So that'll be an upcoming hearing. We'll do the notice, and you'll be provided a link next week showing that notice and some background materials on that. So those are two items we have for the 6th. And at the last council meeting, or the last one where there was commission items on the 26th of May, they approved the miscellaneous text amendments the commission reviewed, and also that drive-through restaurant that John Pappas is doing on Sycamore Road, that got approved by the city council also. That's all.
So he made good on his promise to the people that,
Yeah, I haven't heard from her, so I assume we did, yeah.
all right. All right. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been properly moved in second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
We out of here. Motion carries.